to my channel. I'm Serena if you guys are new here. Today we are going to be going over my TBR stack, my to be read stack. I'm going to be picking 22 books to read this year in 2022. If you saw my New Year's resolution video, you know that my goal is to read 22 to 25 books this year. At the rate that I'm going at, I am 100% going to surpass that. So I just have some books here that I know I really want to read that I just got. So I'm going to be giving you guys a brief summary. These are in no particular order. I don't know when I'm going to get to them, just some point in 2022. The first book that I have, I'm just going to go through hardcovers and then paperbacks. I also have books on my Kindle that I do need to read, but these are just like my physicals, so we'll stick to this for now. So the first book I have is The Lost Apothecary. I got this in my January Book of the Month box, which is the subscription box I was just talking about. I've heard very mixed reviews about this book. I think I'll like it, but somebody already commented on one of my reels on my books page saying don't even bother. I am going into this with an open mind. I'll just read like a little bit in case you guys don't know what this book is about. It says, hidden in the depths of an 18th century London, a secret apothecary, it's always a hard one, shop caters to an unusual kind of clientele. Women across the city whisper of a mysterious figure named Nella who sells well-disguised potions to use against the oppressive men in their lives. Nella's dark world is no place for her newest patron, a precocious 12-year-old girl named Eliza Fanning, but their unexpected bonds spark a string of consequences that echo through the centuries. That's just like the first paragraph. Clearly I'm having a hard time reading today, so I'm not gonna make those too long, but yeah, this is one of the ones I want to read. I want to really try to stay on top of the Book of the Month books because they will pile up very quickly if I don't. So the next two that I have are two dance books. I would like to read these back to back, and I'm probably not going to get to them until closer to a dance recital. I just feel like it'd be very timely. So the first one I have is called The Ballerinas. So I got this from Target. As you guys can see, the sticker's still on it. And then The Turnout by Megan Abbott. So I'm excited to read those. I am a dance teacher, so I feel like dance themed novels would be very timely for me, especially around a recital. The next book that I have on my list, I am a sucker for New York themed books, no matter if it's a thriller, a romance, just any sort of New York themed book. So this is called New York, My Village by Akan. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So let me read the inside cover for you guys. From a suspiciously cheap Hell's Kitchen walk-up, Nigerian editor and winner of a Toni Morrison Publishing Fellowship, Ikang Udusaro, I'm gonna have to figure out how to pronounce that one, is about to begin the opportunity of a lifetime to learn the ins and outs of the publishing industry from an incandescent epicenter. While his sophisticated colleagues meet him with kindness and hospitality, he is soon exposed to the colder, ruthless commercial underbelly, callous agents, greedy landlords, boorish and hostile neighbors, and beneath the superficial cosmopolitanism, a bedrock of white culture superiority and racist assumptions about Africa, its people, and the worst of all, its food. So I'm kind of curious about this one. Because it takes place in the city and it's about publishing, that whole industry. I also work in the publishing industry, so it's interesting to me to read fiction novels about it. I'm excited to read that one. I also have one called Central Park, which is paperback, that I'm excited to read also. That's more of the thriller side, but I'll get to that. So next I have A History of Wild Places. This one is a recent publication, just came out by Shay Earnshaw. This one says, Travis Wren is an unusual talent for locating missing people. Hired by families as a last resort, he requires only a single object to find a person who has vanished. When he takes on the case of Maggie St. James, a well-known author of a dark, macabre children's books, he's led to a place many believed only to be a legend. I'm just reading like the first paragraph of the summaries for you guys because otherwise this video is going to be like 40 minutes long. Next, I have Flickr in the Dark. This one also recently just came out. Apparently, the word Flickr is said like 22, 23 times or something like that. So the inside says, when Chloe Davis was 12, six teenage girls went missing in her small Louisiana town. By the end of the summer, her own father had confessed to the crime and was put away for life, leaving Chloe and the rest of her family to grapple with the truths and try to move forward while dealing with the aftermath. So this one's very big on Bookstagram right now. I actually think A History of Wild Places and A Flickr in the Dark, both super popular right now. I try not to, as much as I want to read the big titles, I try not to feel the need to constantly go out and buy them because it's a lot of money. Next, I have this book. It's called Shiver by Reynolds. I heard another one, mixed reviews, a lot of like snowboarding references, but I also need to give this a go. I want to try to read it this winter because I feel like that's timely. Next, Actually, let me just read the cover before I give you guys like the next one. So it says, a reunion weekend in the French Alps turns deadly as 5 friends discover that someone has stranded them at their remote mountain resort during a snowstorm. So that's this one. I feel like that'll be good. Next, I have, this is a Lisa Jewell book. It's The Night She Disappeared. So it's just a hardcover. I read Then She Was Gone and absolutely loved that. So I'm really like ready for another Lisa Jewell book. This one, the first paragraph says, it's a beautiful summer night in a charming English suburb when Tallulah and Zach head out to a bar for the first time since the birth of their infant son. Just 19 years old, they've been looking forward to this night and a break from bottles and diapers. A party at the massive country estate of a new college friend seems like the perfect way to unwind until the morning comes and the two don't make it home. I'm intrigued on this one. So far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I want to move to paperbacks now. I think I only own like 22 books. So I do have some on my Kindle, but I'm going to be leaving wiggle room for, like I said, other books that come in. We'll do one more hardcover and then move to paperback. So the last one I have is Girl A by Abigail Dean. I bought this one a long time ago actually. It says, you can flee your parents, you can bury your secrets, but you'll never leave behind what your siblings know, what you all shared. So I guess this is like a sibling rivalry, dark secrets kind of book. I think I heard mostly good reviews about this one. I don't know, but I'll let you guys know as I do my monthly recaps on them. That's it for hardcovers. So for paperbacks, try to mix up what I'm reading. So I'll do like 1 or 2 heavy hitters, and then I'll do like a, I don't know, like a low-key romance, or I'll do 2 or 3 thrillers and then do a sci-fi. Like I just try to mix it up. So paperbacks, I'm kind of getting sidetracked. First one I have is The 7 Husbands. I literally cannot speak today, of Evelyn Hugo. I hear fantastic things about this one. I really hope it does live up to the hype. So I'll just read the back to you guys real quick. It says, reclusive Hollywood icon Evelyn Hugo is finally ready to tell the truth about her glamorous and scandalous life, but when she chooses unknown magazine reporter Monique Grant to write her story, no one is more astounded than Monique herself. Heard fantastic things about this one. Really hope it lives up to the hype. Next one I have is another Lisa Jewell book. It's called The Family Upstairs. Okay, so this one says, soon after her birthday, Libby Jones returns home from work to find the letter she had been waiting for 25 years. She rips it open with one driving thought, I'm finally going to know who I am. She learns not only the identity of her birth parents, but also that she is the sole inheritor of her abandoned mansion on the bank of the Thames. Everything in Libby's life is about to change, but what she can't possibly know is that the others have been waiting for this day as well, and she's on a collision course to meet them. In The Family Upstairs, the master of the bone-chilling suspense brings us the can't look away story of 3 entangled families living in a house with the darkest secrets. Next, I have, like I had mentioned before, Central Park. This one takes place in Manhattan as well. This one got relatively recently. It's about 2 people. They don't know how they got on a bench, and they are like handcuffed together. So they're trying to figure out like backsides of how they got together. Really just butchered that one, but I know that's how that one goes. The next one I have is The Wife Upstairs by Rachel Hawkins. I am still trying to process Reckless Girls by Rachel Hawkins. Just the ending, I don't know. I don't know if I liked it or not. I don't know if it ruined it for me. It was so like well written, and the plot just kept twisting and turning, and I loved it. And then I got to the end and I was like, okay. Didn't see it coming, but also wasn't happy with the results. So anyway, I saw very good reviews about this one, so I'm really excited to read it. Next, I have a fun little just twist in here, The Love Hypothesis. I also hear really good things about this one, kind of like romance here. When a fake relationship between a scientist meets the irresistible force of attraction, it throws one woman's carefully calculated theories on love into chaos. So that's this one. I am excited to read that. I'm probably gonna mix it in with some of these heavy hitter thrillers in here. Then I have a Jodi Picoult book. Is that how you pronounce her last name? I don't know. 19 minutes. This one I hear is very heavy and deep. Yeah, I'm gonna have to probably mix in something else in there when I read that. This one says, Sterling is an ordinary New Hampshire town where nothing ever happens until the day its complacency is shattered by an act of violence. Josie Cormier, the daughter of the judge sitting on the case, should be the state's best witness, but she can't remember what happened before her very own eyes. Or can she? As the trial progresses, fault lines between the high school and the adult community begin to show, destroying the closest friendships and families. 19 minutes asks what it means to be different in our society, who has the right to judge someone else, and whether anyone is ever really who they seem. That's this one. I've had this one for a while too, so I need to read that. Next, I have another Colleen Hoover book. I think I'm gonna end up having all of her books, whether it be Kindle or hardcover. I mean, you know, physical copies. I really love, I've only read Verity but I'm just basing it off of that. Like, I love the way she writes. So I have It Ends With Us. This is another big one. Lily hasn't always had it easy, but that's never stopped her from working hard for the life she wants. She comes a long way from a small town in Maine where she grew up. She graduated from college, moved to Boston, and started her own business. So when she feels a spark with a gorgeous neurosurgeon named Ryle Kincaid, everything in Lily's life suddenly seems almost too good to be true. So that's that one. I'm excited to read that. Then I have Before I Go to Sleep by S.J. Watson. So the cover looks like this. It says, memories define us. So what if you lost yours every time you went to sleep? Your name, your identity, your past, even the people you love, all forgotten overnight. And the one person you trust may be telling you only half the story. Welcome to Christine's life. I'm making like a giant pile right here of all the books. I'm really hoping it doesn't topple over. Next one I have is called Woman 99. The back says, she's only a number now. When Charlotte Smith's wealthy parents commit her beloved sister Phoebe to the infamous Golden Grove Asylum, Charlotte knows there's more to the story than madness. She risks everything and follows her sister inside, surrendering her real identity as a privileged young lady in San Francisco society to become a nameless inmate. Woman 99. I'm excited to read this one. I just find the whole plot line very interesting. Then I have Five Total Strangers. This is another one I'm trying to read in the winter because, as you guys can see, it takes place in the snow. So the back says, she thought being stranded was the worst thing that could happen. She was wrong. Mari needs to get home for the holidays badly. But when an incoming blizzard results in a canceled connection, it looks like Mira might get stuck at the Philadelphia airport indefinitely. That's this one. Kind of similar to Shiver, where it's just like a whole bunch of random people. They're stranded. So I think I'm probably going to read those back to back because they are similar as far as time of year goes. And last but certainly not least, I held this one for last because I just know that as soon as I read the first one, I'm gonna want to read the second and the third and the fourth and the fifth and so on and so on. So the last one I have is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Honestly, if you're watching one of my videos, you probably know about this one already. All over BookTok, all over Bookstagram. If you don't know, here's a summary for it. So it says, when 19-year-old huntress Fair, I'm gonna have to get used to like the fantasy kind of names because they're all interesting and different, kills a wolf in the woods, a terrifying creature arrives to demand retribution. Dragged to the treacherous magical land she knows about only from legends, Fair discovers that her captor is not truly a beast, but one of the lethal, immortal fairies who once ruled in her world. At least he's not a beast all the time. So that's this one. And that's it. That's actually 20 books. It's not quite 22 because I am waiting for one to come in the mail tomorrow. It is a Colleen Hoover book. It's the one that she literally just came out with. I'm reserving one more spot because I do have, like I said before, Book of the Month books coming in. I know I'm gonna read some of those. So I am probably on track to read like 60 to 70 books this year at the rate that I'm going at, which I know I set my goal to be 25 and that goal was super lowballed because last year I only read 4 books. So I need a smaller goal so that way when I surpass that, I'm like, okay, like yes, did that, now I can keep going. So that's gonna be it for this video. So don't forget to subscribe if you guys like this kind of content. If you really just want to see all books content, like just books content, you can follow my Bookstagram here. It's called Coffee and Goodreads with an underscore, and I post very, very frequently on there. I feel like that's becoming where a bulk of my social media activity is over on that account. So if you guys want to follow that, I've kind of been hiding it for the last like year or so, but it's getting pretty popular and pretty big. So I figured, why not just plug it? And also if you just want like regular lifestyle content, you can follow my personal, which is right here. It's just Serena McGowan with 2 N's at the end. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you hit the notification bell so you never miss a video with me. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.